Welcome to Real Talk Wrestling. I am your host, Josh. With me, of course, the baby face, actually the heel of the show now, Chris Koffler, and our guy, our guest, our basically new family member, Miami Clutch PE. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Yeah,
I feel like today's the AEW more theme show. That makes I turn face again, right?
I don't know if that makes you turn baby face or just irrelevant. You might just turn irrelevant this show. I'm not sure at this point. But yeah, what's up, Clutch?
Today.
Oh yeah. We got a long card. Of course, Tony Khan puts on these gigantic. We used to complain when Triple H, when Vince McMahon did it with these long 5-hour, 6-hour WrestleManias. Now Tony Khan does it once a month and nobody cares. It's like, oh yeah, he puts on bangers. I don't know, man. This show is. They can cut a couple of matches out. There's a couple of matches in this card that I didn't even realize were on the card until I just looked it up. But yes, we are breaking down AEW Dynasty. We have some Ria Ripley injury content we want to get to you guys. I know Clutch was talking about that pre-show. We want to get to that. And of course, Chad Gable did turn heel on Sami Zayn to close out Monday Night Raw in Montreal, by the way. It was a great ending. Probably the best wrestling show we've seen all week. Can we all agree with that?
Yep.
I mean, Chris?
I didn't watch the other ones though.
I didn't watch that one, so you got to be the decision here, the split decision.
Oh, not even close. Not.
There you go.
Okay, how about this? I didn't fall asleep during one of them, and I didn't fall asleep Monday night. I'll just put that out there.
One of them is 3 hours. The other one's 2.
You know what? If they actually condensed Raw to 2 hours, it'd be the perfect show. The way it is now, It'd be the perfect show.
Yep.
There's too much filler in that show, but we also have a new segment. I'm going to debut right now, off the rip. We're going to do this starting off the remaining of the show so we know what's going on. And the segment is called "What You Didn't Miss on Friday and Saturday Night," brought to you by AEW. Rampage results April 12th, 2024. Orange Cassidy versus Alex Reynolds. Chuck was conflicted with the breakup of the best friends. I had no idea they broke up. I guess that happened last week on Rampage. Didn't see it. Cassidy wins. Of course, he beats Alex Reynolds. Julia Hart had a TBS open house match challenge against Layla Hirsch. Julia Hart wins. Angelo Parker versus Zach Knight. Zach Knight wins. Jay White versus Matt Sydal. Jay White wins. And that concludes your AEW Rampage. AEW Collision. House of Black versus Martin Action Andrade, and I believe it's Matt Sydal because they just said Sydal. House of Black wins. Shocking. Lee Moriarty versus Shibata. Shibata wins. Daniel Garcia versus Angelico. Garcia wins. Tony Storm versus AZM. Storm wins. BCC, Bryan Danielson and Claudio versus the Callis family, Hobbs and Fletcher. BCC wins. Takeshita attacks Claudio from behind. That concludes your Collision. So, nothing happened.
One thing I'll say, the best friends, they broke up on Dynamite. You just didn't see it.
Okay, when? Seriously, how long ago?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay, all right.
It's still recent.
Okay.
I will add to this that about 60 to 65% of the names you read, I have no idea who they are.
I don't know who AZM is. I don't know who Angelico is.
You know who that is?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is that he's somebody's brother, right? Am I off there?
He's he was in he was like a part of AEW in the very beginning. There were those guys wearing like black and neon yellow.
2.0?
I know that you know them.
2.0?
Yeah, I think that was their tag team name. They haven't been around in forever though. I didn't know he was still with the company, to be honest.
I don't know who Zach Knight is, but he beat Angelo Parker. And that's it. I know everyone else.
Isn't that Paige's brother? Or am I tripping?
I think he's the guy who got Ruby Soho pregnant per show.
That's which guy did you just say?
Zach Knight?
No, the other guy in the match is the one.
Angelo Parker?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the one that got her pregnant.
If you guys watch Collision and Rampage, you guys know more about these guys. If you don't watch it, don't worry. I got you covered every week. We're going to be reviewing Collision and Rampage because I have to keep up. So I'm sitting here watching Dynamite last night, and half the storylines are taken on Collision. Like, why are Edge and House of Black fighting? There's just so much going on that I had no idea. So I do want to start looking those up at least because I'm not going to watch them. I'm just not. Let's get right into the AEW Dynasty card. We have it pulled up here, Chris. I know, Clutch, you're not really watching it, and you're going to be the Chris Colfer of the show this week when we talk about Mania. We're going to start right at the top. AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. Chris, is that the first thing you see on your site?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we had a pretty good sit-down interview with Joe last night. I didn't really see what Swerve did because I did fall asleep early. Sorry, guys. I did. Chris Jericho does that to me these days. This match I'm very excited for, and I do think that Swerve Strickland does go over. He has to go over here. He cannot lose another big match. Can't. Chris, I'll say you.
But yes, I definitely think it's got to be Swerve that takes this match because he has built too much momentum recently. And he's one of the biggest stars right now. It's unfortunate for Joe because he's barely had the title, but we kind of talked about this when he got it. We kind of figured he might be a little bit of a transitional champ. And it's got to be Swerve taking the title here.
Right. Now,
I want to say he's got too much momentum. It makes too much sense for him to have the title right now. He feels like one of, if not the biggest star, well, one of the biggest stars, I guess, in AEW.
Yes. And we were on this podcast about a year ago saying push Swerve, and it finally happened. Now, Clutch, you know both of these guys. One is an NXT guy in your eyes, and one is a broadcaster standing in a poncho in the middle of the rain. So what do you take on this main event? Seriously, because they were both let go by WWE or chose to leave. Now they're in the main event of AEW Dynasty. Joe's doing phenomenal work. I loved his promo last night, by the way, saying he's a choke artist, but this time Sunday night, Joe will be the one choking him out. So, Swerve won't choke on himself. I love that line so much. What do you think about this matchup, Clutch?
Okay, I thought we were gonna start from like the bottom of the card, so I'll leave the trolling for the end.
Okay.
I really like both of these guys, so I can't shit on anybody. It sounds like a really good match. I didn't know it was happening, but it sounds like a really, really, really awesome match. Am I supposed to give a prediction?
You don't have to.
I'll give one just for shits and gigs. We always have to have a Samoan person named Joe as champion. So screw it. Shits and gigs.
I think Swerve is winning. I think that when Joe won the title, they didn't want him to lose right away. So Tony Khan respects his talent like that. I don't think there'll ever be a transitional champion as somebody like Ajax Swagger or somebody that will never defend the title. Just win it, lose it to the next person. Tony Khan has too much respect for his talent. He loves his talent too much. He doesn't treat them like just numbers or people or just objects. He wants Joe to have a good run, but he understands that Swerve is the hot hand here. So they let Joe go over in that triple threat match. Now it's time for Swerve to finally get his win, and I can't wait for it. Too bad all this is happening during the worst moments in AEW history. The ratings are in. I don't see no Tony Khan tweet now about 24% up and 13%. It's all down, dude. It's 760,000 million or 100,000.
760,000, yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, went down from last week.
It was down from the week before as well because they lost viewers of people who didn't even want to deal with them anymore. People like me and yourself, Chris.
Yeah. So that showing that video had the reverse effect.
Oh yeah, for sure. It sucks for Swerve at this point, man. I would like to see more people watch him win that title and have a good title run. Hopefully people come back. The next matchup on this list, Clutch, you cannot crap on this match, man. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson.
I can.
The only thing, well, hold on. I can too. And I'm going to do that real quick. And I'm not going to take long. Where's the build? Where's the face-to-face? Where's everything? There's no heat. Will Ospreay is spending too much time talking shit about Triple H and Bryan Danielson's fighting the Callis family, not Will Ospreay. I didn't see a huge build to this match at all. It's just another dream match Tony Khan put together, but it's going to be a generational match, one of the matches of the year, probably match of the decade, honestly.
What are we thinking on this one? Maybe 7 stars? Just go ahead and book it now.
7 billion stars.
Brother, it's Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
We're getting $100 million Wrestling Stars.
He's just going to look at the names before the bell dings. He's already going to have his match rating out. I think this probably is going to be, definitely has the potential to be, and probably will be the best match on the card. I mean, this one right along with the main event of Swerve and Samoa Joe are going to be two really good matches. I think these two are like way up here. There's some other matches that are down, but these two way up here. Almost the price of the pay-per-view right there. And I only say almost just because we just had a pay-per-view and I don't feel like shelling out another $50 this weekend. It'll be a good match. It's unfortunate, like you said, there's not a good build going into it, not a real good, solid story. But I think if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Will Ospreay right now because I feel like he's, newer to AEW, even though he's been around, but officially got signed recently. So I still think he's kind of on that momentum run where he's not going to be losing a match just yet.
I agree. I agree with almost everything you said. Now, if this was a WWE built match, Ospreay would lose. Ospreay would 1000% lose because look what happened to Cody over there. Look what happens to all their guys over there when they first come in. Sting, they lose right away, and then they have to build themselves back up. The thing I love about Tony Khan and his booking, who his favorites are, and those guys are going to win night after night, and they're going to put on an amazing show. And plus, Bryan Danielson is the least selfish person in the entire business.
No,
he doesn't need the win. He knows that. He understands that. Will Ospreay is the future of that company. If they do want to thrive, they will build it with Will Ospreay as their top star. The guy's a stud. Even last night's main event was a freaking 5-star banger on free television. Unreal. It's the best wrestling match you'll see all week. I encourage everyone to go check it out. I actually did today. Will Ospreay's awesome, man. Will Ospreay is probably my favorite wrestler to watch going today. There's no one better in the ring. I'm not talking storytelling like Roman Reigns can do or Sami Zayn can do or Gunther. I'm talking pure ability, pure athleticism, body movement, body control. He does everything perfect. He doesn't botch. Every movement has a meaning. Like, I don't know if Clutch has ever watched a full match of Ospreay. He's just a poet in there. That's all I can explain. He's like a freaking poet in there. Yeah. Poetry in motion right there.
I would be interested to see, because you say, best in-ring wrestler right now, and I agree. I would just like to see a bunch of the WWE guys with like all the rules off, because we can see like a lot of their matches are very structured. We talked about it. This is why they have minimal botches. Their matches are a lot structured. Their movesets are a lot more limited. I would love to see some of them just be able to do whatever they want in the ring, like what Will Ospreay is getting to do at AEW. Because I think we could see some other people, that could also wrestle at that level if they were given the chance. Maybe one day Triple H will let them do that. Be a little bit more open with their moveset. But for right now, Will Ospreay, for sure, best wrestler in the ring.
Clutch, have you seen an Ospreay match a full one?
I saw one of them. I cannot tell you which one because I think he's had multiple of these against Kenny.
Okay.
Really, really good. Yeah, I agree that he's like one of the best wrestlers on the planet. But other than that, I don't know much about him. Yeah.
He can take the grind, bruv. What is bruv? Is that like an English thing? Is that I have no idea. But I'm into it. It's over. Will Ospreay's over. I think Will Ospreay would have been mega over there. Clutch, you didn't, to piggyback on your point, Chris, and I do want to stay on this for about a couple more minutes. When Bryan Danielson made the jump to AEW, right away, I saw the difference in work rate, the difference in his style, the difference in he has more freedom. He's a 10,000 time better wrestler than he ever was in WWE, and that's saying a lot because he was awesome over there.
No,
but man, his matches over there in WWE were like pretty much missionary style compared to what he does now. And it is, Chris. It is.
That's a great comparison there.
It's just he's so.
And that's what I'm saying. There's some really great wrestlers in WWE, but like they're just not allowed to show their full potential in the ring. And I would love to see them get to do that at some point.
But that just leads to more injuries. And Bryan Danielson, that's going to get to my point, is just injured all the time now, and it's because of his work rate and what he does in the ring. I mean, smashed orbital bone. Everything he can go wrong did. So yes, this is gonna be an awesome match. Next match, we have Timeless Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. AEW World's Women's Championship match. I don't care.
It's got to be Toni Storm.
Clutch.
I didn't know Thunder Rosa was still in AEW.
She came back like a month ago, I think, and now she has a title match. Tony Khan has these rankings. It don't matter. Thunder Rosa didn't wrestle for 2 years. Now she's back. Gets a title shot. Mercedes Moné never wrestles a match. She gets a TBS title shot. This is becoming more like the old WWE, more and more and more, week after week after week. Yeah. This is ridiculous.
I don't understand what the point of the rankings are. I thought it was a really good concept when they were first talking about it, but it's been so poorly executed, because you're right. The rankings mean absolutely nothing. I mean, I think they've only tied that into a storyline, like truly tied into a storyline once, and that was with Britt Baker years ago, and her coming after the title. And wasn't it Thunder Rosa had the title, and Britt Baker was moving up, and she's like, I'm coming for you, and she kept knocking everyone else out of the way. Other than that, they don't ever really use it, because they'll just be all of a sudden, they'll just do like number one contenders matches or something, or a tournament. And I'm like, well, what's the point of the rankings then?
Yeah.
I feel like if used properly, it could be really good, but they don't use it properly.
Not to mention AZM or AZK. I don't even know who she is. The fucking Alphabet wrestled Julia Hart on Collision for a TBS title shot. Where is she in the rankings?
No.
Rankings don't matter, man.
They don't mean anything.
And Thunder Rosa, I'm not looking forward to this match. To me, there's no build. To me, I don't care. To me, it's all about Toni Storm and her situation. No one's taking that title from Toni Storm until Jamie Hayter returns, and it's going to be at Wembley.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's what it should be. Thunder Rosa, nobody, like, everyone's cooled off on her so much. I got to give you credit there. You called it 2 years ago, whatever. And now, since she's been back, everyone has completely cooled off on her. Like, she gets no reaction. No one wants to see her out there. You're not even getting the boos. You're getting nothing. It's bad.
Yep. This is your top match. Any more thoughts on this, Clutch? I love his reactions.
No, I don't know anything about these people. I mean, Toni Storm's cool, so let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
He's one
now
of the
we have
storytellers. And
now we have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's just that she's one of the best storytellers, so I'll just go with her.
She is. Okay. Now we have an AEW Tag Team Champion ladder match. Matthew. Oh, CBS. You should fix your article, buddy. It's not Matt Jackson. You need to call them by their God-given names, Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. I would like to say I'm excited for this match. I do know how it's going to end. We all know how it's going to end. We're going to get the return of Jack Perry. I'm kind of excited for it, because even though they showed that video, it didn't backfire as much as you guys think on Jack Perry. Selling out T-shirts. Everyone wants him back now. He's actually hotter than he's ever been.
Yep.
He was on that New Japan show, which, Clutch, I'm sure you watched intensely. You watched every single match, I know. Jack Perry was like the hottest act there. I think this is going to be good for AEW when Jack Perry does return. And I actually do think they're handling this situation correctly, even though I don't think that the airing the content was a great idea. But this really did help out Jack Perry. I'm actually excited to see him come back.
Yeah, I was surprised to see how much of a boost that he got, because I didn't really think it would change anyone's perception on him either direction. I thought the only thing that this was going to do was make the Young Bucks look really petty and people kind of turn away from them. But yeah, I saw the video clips and everything of him. It's crazy to see all the support that he has now. So you think this is where he returns, that he's off his suspension. He left Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He's going to come back Jungle Man Jack Perry.
Yes. Jungle Man Jack Perry.
He's Jungle Man now.
Yes, I do think FTR takes the loss again. I think the Young Bucks have to get right. Like, you can't put the titles on FTR after this.
I don't know. Like, I was kind of torn on, because you could kind of go in either direction, but I guess out of the two directions, giving it to the Young Bucks feels like the better option, only because it just establishes them more as a heel. And what we always say now, the pursuit of dethroning the heel is the best part of wrestling. So I feel like they're just getting into these super heel characters. So I kind of almost think they should win.
I'm a big fan of this, and Clutch, Evolution. Ric Flair had a title. Randy Orton and Batista had titles. Triple H had a title. They dominated. So if the Young Bucks win, they'll have the tag titles. Okada will have the international title, I believe, Continental title. They're all the fucking same.
Yep.
And then you can get Jack Perry against not Christian Edge or Adam Copeland. You can get the TNT title, or you can give them the international title, or whatever. Something that the Devil Group was trying to do. We can actually do this with the EVP crew. And I am for that. That'd be super cool to see. I like it when stables have all the titles. I like it when stables have all the gold. It worked really well with Evolution. That's the best case that I remember, when they were all just dominant, because of course they were all Hall of Famers and all superstars. I'm not saying that these guys are the same, Okada and the Young Bucks and Jack Perry, but it is cool to see some kind of power trip with all the titles while people are chasing them. I think that's the way they should go. But it'd be hard. It's hard to tell what they would do with Jack Perry, because I don't think he could beat Adam Copeland. There's no reason for it. There's no story for that. Roddy Strong, he's a heel. And then Okada has the Continental title. So where does that leave Jack Perry in this situation? Is he going to be the goon that takes all the pins in that group? Because every group has it. Bloodline has Jimmy. Judgment Day has JD McDonough, right? The list goes on. For a while, Imperium had, who's the other dude that doesn't talk like, who's the other guy, Clutch?
Giovanni.
He always took the pins. He always ate the pins. There's always one goon in every group. Who's going to be the goon in the Elite? That's the problem. Yeah. Wheeler Yuta's the goon in BCC, right?
Yep, he was.
Everyone has the goon. Where is Wheeler?
Who knows? There's a lot of people. I don't know where they're at right now. I don't know if they're injured, taking time off. I don't know.
Who cares?
The roster's too bloated.
Who cares? Next match. AEW Continental Championship. Okada versus Pac. Of course, Pac comes back. No rankings. Didn't climb that ladder, but he's the number one contender for that Continental title. I'm actually excited for this match. Another WWE reject. You would know him as, what was he called over there in the WWE? Neville.
On another level, it's Neville.
Were you a big Neville fan, Clutch?
I was a big Neville fan in NXT, not the main roster. Although he did have that one match, I think against Seth for the WWE title, where for half a second, I thought he beat Seth for the WWE Championship. It was awesome.
That would have been cool. Didn't
he have a good run on the main roster? Wasn't he the king of the cruiserweights? Was that him or was that someone else I'm thinking?
Oh yeah, that was the 205 Live days.
Yeah, but he was on 205 Live. I guess when 205
Live was like half decent. And then it just wasn't. Yeah.
I'm just saying he had a pretty good run on that. That's what I remember from his main roster run.
And then Enzo killed it.
Yeah, then Enzo killed it. Completely killed it.
Enzo killed it
for
because
what?
he beat Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's what a terrible decision. I think Okada wins.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see him already losing a title way too soon. Unfortunately, Pac takes a lot of losses in AEW. He's really good, but he seems to be that mid-card, upper mid-card guy that just has to take a lot of losses.
That's true. Next match, TBS Championship match. Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. House rules match. So if we don't know this gimmick, Clutch, explain the rules of a house rules match.
So yeah, I'm not expert. So it's like bloodline rules, right?
So okay, here's the truth about the house rules match. I believe there's.
It says that here, 20-second countouts instead of 10.
Yep. Okay, remember that.
Disqualifications are enforced with no rope breaks. And the most interesting rule is dealer's choice, where the challenger gets to set a stipulation as well.
Yes, so Willow can make a stipulation to this match.
Which sometimes they're just like, hey, your team can't be out here to help.
No, not sometimes. Every time it's Julia can't be out there or Brody King can't be out there. It's never been anything else.
I was about to say, I'm trying to think of what other rules. Did somebody do? Well, I feel like maybe at one point someone did like a no DQ or like a hardcore match or Falls Count Anywhere? Or,
I think that
like
was
once. Once.
I think that was Bowens and Caster and Billy Gunn. I think they did a no disqualification match.
Yeah. Other than that, it's usually just, hey, your team can't be out here. And does that ever stop them though? Like, don't they still come out?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The House of Black. They're bad guys.
Yeah.
I think that Julia Hart. No. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction, Willow. Just because I think they're gonna set up the feud between her and the CEO. And that's where there's already a pre-existing story. So I feel like that's where they're headed with that.
I think Julia Hart retains, and I think Julia Hart versus CEO at Double or Nothing, because Sasha, she's not Mercedes yet because she's not good. She's not.
So you're saying, like always, their not good name is their WWE name. I just want to put that on record.
No, when her best years,
she has to earn her good name.
She's not. Yeah, sure. No, she was awful last night. Her promo skills are beyond awful. Julia Hart wins, which is setting up Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. And I do think that we get Julia Hart versus Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. That's the match. That's the main event we all want. We don't want Willow. We don't want babyface Willow versus babyface Mercedes. That'd be awful. That'd be terrible.
Be babyface Mercedes?
She is a babyface, yes.
Will she still be though by Double or Nothing?
Yeah, she shook Edge's hand.
There's still plenty of time for her to turn. All it takes is one in-ring confrontation for somebody to turn.
What do you think about her in Clutch? If you saw this, you can comment on this. What do you think about her saying that she's not cleared to wrestle yet, even though she's cleared to wrestle?
That's bullshit.
Like I was telling Josh on the, I texted him, she had this whole promo in the ring, announces, hey, I'm not clear to wrestle yet. I'm hoping to be clear to wrestle by Double or Nothing, which is the end of May. It's like Memorial Weekend. I'm hoping to be clear to wrestle by then. Like basically saying, I'm hurt. I can't fight until then. Whatever. Leaves, comes back later after a match for a save to help somebody out and comes running in. Why are the other people scared and running out of the ring when she's already announced, hey, I'm not in good shape right now. I can't fight right now, but I'm going to come out and fight you, but I can't. So you're all going to clear the ring? Should have just stood their ground and then just knocked her out.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. Like that was bad storytelling back to back right there.
Yeah.
It bothered me. Very bad continuity.
Who are you going with? Julia Hart, Clutch, or Willow Nightingale? Do you know who Willow Nightingale is?
He's going to flip a coin.
Big fan of both of these women, watch them every week. I only know Julia Hart, so why not just go with her? Okay.
They're both good. I like Willow. I think Willow's great. I think she is great. I don't like how they treated Brody King last night, that she pretty much buried him. I don't think that's right, but it is what it is. She did a crossbody to Brody King. And if you know who Brody King is, he's a giant man. She crossbodied him and then did a Kevin Owens cannonball to him in the corner of the ring. Ridiculous. He's a big monster getting destroyed by a happy. Basically, if you take Bayley's hugger stage and Nia Jax and put them together, that's who Willow is. She's a big woman, strong, but like happy all the time. And she's beating the shit out of some monster. Sure. AEW International Championship, Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. I did not know this match was real life until about an hour ago.
I'm wondering, because I didn't know about this one either. I'm guessing this one has been developing on Collision.
I'm assuming so.
It has to. Well, now that we have our Collision updates, we'll be able to keep up a little bit better moving forward.
I'm going Roderick Strong.
Yeah, me too. I don't see that moving the belt off of him right now.
Now, Clutch, these are from NXT. They were friends.
Yeah, the Undisputed Era Invitational, basically.
And now they're the Undisputed Kingdom over in AEW.
That's lazy.
I was going to ask, what do you think about that lazy? I feel bad for Adam Cole and those guys. They have to follow that tagline for their entire career. They can't be something new. I think that's tacky, but I don't think it's their idea.
They're always going to be the Undisputed Era to that was their peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FTW Championship, a championship that's not recognized.
They have.
What? Oh, exactly.
Too many.
You've named like 7 championships already.
Yeah, too many. FTW Championship. It's not recognized by AEW, but they still defend it on their show sanctioned.
But is it like the BMF title in UFC?
It's literally no.
This is the same FTW title that was around in WWE way back in the day.
No,
with,
ECW with Taz.
Well, but I think he brought it over to WWE after ECW folded.
He might have. Either way.
But it's Taz's belt is what it is. Taz's old belt from 20 years ago. He brought it back a few years ago in AEW.
And gave it to Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. No, Ricky Starks first. I don't know. Who cares?
No, it was Brian Cage. And it was
okay.
I think he created the belt, and I think he gave it to Brian Cage for the same reason, because Brian Cage was supposed to have a title opportunity against Moxley. And I think that's when Moxley was out with COVID for like a week or two. So Taz, he's a champion, and he just gave him the belt, which I think is kind of how he made the belt to begin with or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, the belt's been around forever, but nobody acknowledges it. But they'll let it be on their show.
Yep. So Hook and Jericho, they just became a tag team about 3 weeks ago. They're already split up.
This was very WWE, by the way.
Yeah, this is a huge Vince McMahon storyline. They tagged. They hate each other now. Taz got pushed over or fell or took a bump or something. Taz got involved.
Yep.
Hook, run. Just go to WWE. Go to NXT. Please, when your contract expires, there's rumors about that. There's news about that. Hook wants to explore options. Last night on Dynamite, Chris Jericho's music turned on. He's got the Lionheart music. That's when my TV went off. I'm not interested in Chris Jericho any longer. Hook needs to win this match in the worst way. Chris Jericho needs to go away. I'm so sick of Chris Jericho.
Yeah. It seems like that's everyone's feeling now. Like, we were super excited when he popped up in AEW. It was good. It was fun to sing his song and everything, his entrance music. That was a big part of the COVID era, right? Like, it's run its course. It ran its course a while ago. I think we all share the same feeling that when he comes on the screen, we're all just kind of, all right, it's time to turn the TV off, or this is your bathroom break, or, laundry break for you half the time, whatever it may be. This is the time. Like, I'm just not interested in anything that Chris Jericho is involved in at this stage of his career. He had a great career, but he is now Michael Jordan on the Wizards part of his career. That's where he's at.
I was going to say Julio Jones on the Titans.
Sure, that works too.
Shaquille O'Neal on the Celtics.
Yep.
I didn't remember that. I don't even remember that. Wow.
That's where he's at in his career right now. Like, it was fun to watch in your peak and for a long time, but not anymore.
I think we only have 2 more matches, and these should definitely be Dynamite matches. Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black. Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. Can we disagree? We don't care and move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why we're doing this match on a pay-per-view.
I have a question about this match, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Do this for me. This ties into that clip I saw one time of Malachi just showing up out of the black into Edge, right? Where he lights went out and he popped up in front of Edge.
I don't watch Collision. I'm not gonna lie. I
don't
watch
know where
Collision.
it was, honestly, but
it wasn't on Dynamite.
Yeah, that would be what happened though. Yes.
So I assumed they're finally gonna let Malachi wrestle 1-on-1 for Edge's title or whatever, and we're doing a 6-man tag.
Yeah, that would be a better match, a 1-on-1 match with the 2 of them. I'd be much more interested than this random 6-man tag.
Why does Toni just never book Malachi in a 1-on-1 match?
I don't know if it's a Malachi situation or not. I know that when he was out for a long time, there was rumors, and he did say he didn't think he'd wrestle again, or he was very hurt. So maybe it's something to do with his health. Where Sting didn't wrestle a 1-on-1 match ever in AEW because they wanted to protect him. Maybe Malachi is not in the condition, the shape he should be in, or maybe he's just not mentally. His body's not ready. Maybe he's still nursing an injury that we don't even know about. All right, they're not a publicly traded company. They don't have to disclose injuries, and they don't have to do anything actually. So we don't know. We just found out what Miro's injuries are. We just found out because he told us all. Tony Khan didn't even know Miro was injured, by the way. Apparently,
it's wild.
It's wild. You're right. Malachi should be a bigger star. I hope he goes back to WWE very soon, very very soon. Him and Buddy Matthews both. Buddy, what was his name over there in WWE? Buddy Buddy Murphy. Yes. And the last match. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn versus the Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn for the ROH and AEW Trios Championship. I believe that Tony Khan is merging every single ROH title. He did it with the world title, did it with the whatever else title Eddie Kingston had. Didn't he have another title? I have no idea. I believe they're merging all the titles eventually. I think that the Bullet Club Gold have to go over. But how freaking hot were the Acclaimed? Now they're nothing.
Yeah, they cooled off. They had their time, their day in the sun. And yeah, they kind of just took a back seat for a while, and they're not featured on Dynamite very much anymore. I think there's someone else that probably wrestles over on Collision more, because I haven't seen them on Dynamite in I don't know how long, but maybe once. So I was just glad to see that for this match that they're unifying those titles, and they need to unify some more. Because as Clutch pointed out, there's too many. When everyone's a champion, nobody feels special. Like, I think of who is the AEW World Champion, the Women's Champion, and I don't know, because even whenever you get down to the tag division, you have the tag champs and then the trios champs, and so that kind of feels a little watered down. And then you have so many mid-card titles. The only one that felt important was TNT title when they were giving it a story with Christian. Now I'm worried with Adam Copeland that it's not going to have a story and it's just going to go to open challenges again. So,
and then on top of that, ROH tag team titles are being featured on television with Taven and Bennett. You have Jon Moxley showing up with the New Japan World Championship on Dynamite last night, showing up with a title that's not even on AEW television. Yep. I'm glad they did that, though. I am so glad they did that. And this is going to tie into Forbidden Door, because we all know Forbidden Door, it's AEW undefeated. Those New Japan guys don't win unless they're tagging with an AEW guy. So this is awesome for Jon Moxley to finally give a New Japan singles a win. I think he's going to drop that title to whoever their star is over there. No idea who it is. It's nice that Moxley's going to do a job live on pay-per-view for a Japan guy. That's going to be awesome, because I don't think he retains it. And I think that's the only reason why he took that title, so somebody big can win it on American TV, so we all see it.
Makes sense.
Did you know that Moxley, the only member of the Shield to hold a championship? Just want to point that out. Jon Moxley.
Right now, yeah, the only one.
Yeah. The only member of the Shield. I don't know. I don't know to tell you. The other guys are losers. I don't know. All right. Now that's over. Dynasty, I'm not going to get it. Chris is not going to get it. Clutch, you know you're not getting it. Let's focus over to WWE news. We do have some injuries. We have Ria Ripley out. She relinquished the title. She dropped it. A lot of people hated this. I hated it, but I understood it. Chris probably didn't know about it till just now. Clutch is probably devastated. So let's hear Clutch's thoughts on this.
Wait, why am I devastated?
Because this is your girl. This is your mommy.
It is my mommy. Well, it sucks. It really does suck that she has to relinquish. After I think she's had the title for like a year, a little bit over maybe.
Yeah, a little over a year. It's like 380 days, I think.
Yeah, and a big time title reign, like really, like for the women, that's like basically she was going probably have that title for a while more, so she was going to be like the woman Roman Reigns for this, and it sucks to end that way where you have to relinquish it. But on the other side, I am also so mad at the internet because everybody is so angry that why did she have to relinquish it when Seth didn't relinquish the title when he got hurt, and Roman only defended every so whatever. But like Seth didn't relinquish the title because he was heading into a WrestleMania program and he could still be there every single week. And Rhea's not going to be there every week. We're not going to see her until she comes back. I'm guessing maybe SummerSlam or around there. Roman, he didn't defend the title. Like he defended the title for every 2-3 months.
31 times in his reign.
Yeah, but I mean, he still could show up and represent the title, even though he wasn't defending them. He obviously wasn't defending them like that. So they're saying, oh, the double standards. And that's what pisses me off. I love Rhea so much. I do. But it pisses me off when I see, like, oh, this is double standards. It's like, no, bro. She can't be there. Seth at least could be there. Roman could at least show up backstage, do a promo, and leave. But she just cannot be there. And yeah, it pisses me off how people like compare the situations when it's two completely different things.
I agree with you. I thought you would be on the side where Rhea shouldn't. I honestly thought you'd be on the side of the ignorant people.
No, she's hurt, man. It sucks that it happened. I don't blame anybody for it. I don't blame Liv for it. It just happened, and it sucks that it happened. But yeah, if she's hurt like that, she should relinquish the title. Plus, I think it gives opportunity to some of the women on Raw now.
But there's no one on Raw. And that's what I was going to bring up. And it's like 3 weeks before the draft. The Raw women are Becky, which they're not going to give it to her because, oh my gosh, put me to sleep. Make Raw worse. Give it to Becky. God, it'd be god awful. And plus, she's not even re-signed yet. Her contract's expiring. You can give it to Liv, but you're going to reward Liv for injuring your top star. Doesn't seem smart. And who else? Who else do we have on that show?
I know who's winning it already.
You do?
I don't necessarily agree, but I think it's going to be Nia.
God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm really leaning that way.
If it was me, I wouldn't have this crown next week. I'd wait till after the draft. 1,000%. Or since the draft is so close, I would do the same thing you did with the World Heavyweight Championship. You let some people from SmackDown, you let some people from Raw. They are in a tournament or whatever you want to do, fatal 4-way matches, 2 triple threat matches. I don't care what you do. And then you crown a champion. It doesn't matter if she's from SmackDown. It doesn't matter if she's from Raw because we're going to have a draft anyway.
Yeah, the winner goes to Raw, basically. Just do that.
Yeah, or get drafted wherever you get drafted. You could have Tiffy. You could have Raquel Rodriguez. You could have – it just adds so many more people in this pool rather than just Becky, Nia, Liv. That's all we have. And really, I don't think any are a good option right now. I don't. I think that they're all three are awful. On the other show, you have Bianca. She's tired. We don't want to see that. You have Io Sky just lost. Okay, we don't want to see that. But we also have other people like Shayna Baszler. Where's she at? We have other people like, again, Tiffy Stratton. She's new, upcoming. Is it too early? I don't know. There's just so many more people on SmackDown that can have an opportunity. What's Naomi doing? You know,
well, she's wrestling for the title on Friday.
Well, yeah, is she really?
Yeah,
against who? Oh, yeah, that's right. Bailey says she wants to give her friend a chance. Okay, I remember that. I do remember that. I don't watch SmackDown much because Friday nights. But again, do we want Nia as our champion? Then where do we go from there? Who's the next? Who's the baby face that's going to wrestle her? Because then again, it's either Becky, because Liv is heel. So who's it going to be?
Becky's been done though, so you're right. Yeah, Becky and Nia's been overdone. So what do we do? So now we're in a situation where we have nobody. I don't think if anyone on Raw is legitimate enough to be the champion over there. I do like your idea of just doing a a cross-brand tournament to determine the new champion.
Give it more intrigue. When we had AJ Styles in the final, right? Was it AJ Styles in the final?
Yeah, it was AJ and Seth, yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. Who's going to win the title? We don't know. I mean, we all knew it was Seth, but again, who knows? Now we have the situation where it's either Nia, like we just narrowed down to 3. Again, it is what it is. It just sucks. It's a bad situation, but yeah, she should have definitely dropped it. What about this? What about if we do some call-ups? What if it's Cora Jade? Why can't we do something fun like that? NXT is involved.
Cora Jade's an ACL injury, so.
Oh, really? When? When?
She went down, I want to say, probably like 2 weeks after she came back.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks before Punk got hurt. It was around that time.
Roxanne Perez, what if she gets called up? You know, there's so many people that can get called up.
So you're telling me there's all these injuries stacking up in WWE? That doesn't happen at the safest company in the world, I just want to say.
Yeah, safest company in the world. No one's safer than AEW, by the way. You don't see their women dropping like flies. Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, all the rest of them. I don't know, man. Big shoes to fill for mommy. Big shoes. Do you think she comes back without Judgment Day?
I think that might be an actually like, I guess, a happy accident that happened in the way that I think Judgment Day falls apart without her. And they can make a little story out of that. Maybe Finn can finally get some good matches in. Maybe turn him face or go against Damien or something like that. But just, I know you're shaking your head, but like, just let Finn do something because I like Finn.
I like Finn too. I don't want smiley dumb Finn. I want Bullet Club.
I want NXT Finn.
Yeah. I want NXT Finn Prince, where he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
I like bad guy Finn when he's Prince Devitt.
Or maybe they just Judgment Day Finn included just turn on Priest or something because he thinks he's the big shit now.
Yeah, I think Priest should be babyface, and I do think that the Judgment Day should remain, and they should remain heels. And when Rhea comes back, she's like, "What did you guys do?" And that's her way out. Like, I'm out of here too. Well, we'll see how that develops. Anything else we want to touch on WWE? Because that's the biggest news. Honestly, the only thing else I could think of is every wrestler on the history of this world, whether it be Big Show, whether it be Mark Henry, whether it be I'm naming big guys, whether it be Jericho, they all come back the best shape of their life. Sheamus came back like 40 pounds fucking heavier, looks the worst shape of his life. I am so mad by this. I am so upset. He does not deserve the Intercontinental title. Does not deserve it. Zero.
Apparently, I'm just gonna say apparently because that's what's being said. His date for coming back was gonna be post draft, and they rushed it, and that's why it's like this. That's the explanation given. I understand what you mean, but I like Sheamus.
I love Sheamus too. I'm happy he's back. I was a kid when
and the theme song came back, so I'm happier.
Who came back?
His old theme song.
Oh yeah. The reason why I brought that up is because on Twitter, I'm like, gosh, like usually when guys come back, they come back jacked, and this guy came back super out of shape. And someone was like, "What are you talking about? He looks great." I'm like, bro, look at the side by side. He was shredded, and now he's like literally Shamu, like literally.
Yeah,
hey, I know I'm body shaming. I get it. I'm a bad guy. Whatever. I'm a fat guy too. Whatever. Listen, I just didn't understand it. I love Sheamus. I want him to come back and dominate and become the Intercontinental title champion, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore. Gable turns heel. We got a couple more minutes. I do want to talk about this. We all thought it was going to happen. Do we want to see a Chad Gable heel run?
Yes, and because I do the thing where I fantasy book and it probably doesn't happen, but I love it. And it's just somebody mentioned Gable just turning heel and them just being what's their faces? The Creeds joining up with him. Ooh. And they could be like a mid-card version of Team Angle. And kind of like it.
I don't hate that because the Creeds have not been used correctly. Chris has no idea who the Creeds are.
Nope.
They haven't been used correctly. They have zero charisma. They're really good in the ring. They're really good. Like they have potential to be one of the best tag teams of our generation. But they have no charisma. They have no personality. They're stuck with some Ivy Niles chick who's, to me, one of the worst they have. Yes, pairing them with Gable would be awesome. Get him away from Otis, Tozawa, model girl, I don't know her name, and have him be a super heel with the Creeds. Oh my gosh, that'd do so much for the Creeds. It'd be unbelievable.
Definitely.
Good shit, Chris. Sorry that you didn't watch Sami Zayn get destroyed by Chad Gable.
That was so
I did
cool.
see that spot where he was hugging his wife or whatever, and then Chad Gable came up from behind.
And dude, yeah, oh my gosh, dude. Could you imagine taking that
I did
bump?
see that.
Off his
So
wife.
I may not watch the show live, but I always catch all the important clips.
All right. That's the motto of the show lately because AEW sucks so bad. But WWE is so good, Chris. You got to make time to at least record it or like catch up on it because there's a lot of things that you're not seeing on the show that are just in the background. Like we have the Wyatt family coming back, possible.
I saw that. Yep. I saw all the rumors there.
The rumors are like.
I was going to ask you about this, Josh, because you back then you weren't really into Bray Wyatt. But how do you feel about this?
I'm I'm torn because I'm not a Bray Wyatt fan. I never was, but I respected. I always told Chris I didn't like his in-ring ability, but I liked his storytelling. I hated the Fiend. I thought the Fiend was cringe. I thought the Fiend was awful. I thought it was poorly done, but I liked the Firefly Funhouse. I liked everything he was doing there.
That
The
was
stuff he
so
did
good.
was the stuff he did with Cena at WrestleMania was awesome. The stuff he did with Bryan Danielson and the stuff he did with Randy Orton, that stuff was awesome. His storytelling ability was great. Just his gimmicks and matches sucked. The Fiend sucked. Sorry.
The one thing I'll say is I think people forget, and maybe I don't know if you watched like NXT Bo Dallas. He's really good in the ring
Yeah.
if they let him go, and I think that would be a benefit to this Uncle Howdy thing when he comes back, that he can actually go in the ring at full speed. Bray was hindered right away coming back. He got hurt, I think, almost immediately, and then obviously the heart issues. But yeah, I think with Bo, I think it helps with the in-ring stuff, and then who else is going to join him? You know, I heard maybe Eric Rowan comes back. Alexa, who knows?
She's coming back. She's all over social media about it. She's definitely coming back. I even asked her on Instagram and she didn't respond, surprisingly. I said, "Oh, you're coming back?" ? And she didn't respond. But I know she saw it. That's what counts. She did say that she's not done with the wrestling. She said she's a professional wrestler. This was like 3 days ago. So she's definitely coming back. I would like to see Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss, Eric Rowan, Bo Dallas. You can debut as Uncle Howdy, but take off the mask and reveal yourself as whatever Wyatt. Like I am, you know who I am. And then I don't know what his name can be. I don't think it should be Bo Dallas. I think it should have to do with his family, Wyatt. Maybe you call him, Rotunda, his real name. I don't know what you do with him, but I trust Paul Levesque. I trust Triple H. I trust the vision. And I don't think this is going to be some hacky, half-assed Wyatt 6 that they wanted to do. I think they're going to do it in Bray's honor.
I don't think Bo would allow he wouldn't come back if it was going to like tarnish Bray in any way.
And I'm excited for it. I want to see what they do because I believe in Paul Levesque. I believe in their product and I believe in his vision. And I do think they're going to make this special, especially for Bray. And I'm going to watch that Becoming Immortal documentary on Peacock. Every time I see it.
You missed out, brother. That shit is good.
I'm going to watch it. Definitely. Every time I see the commercial, I'm like, I got to make time for that. But just add it to my to-do list because there's so many other things on my to-do list to watch. And let's just add it on to it.
Yeah, and really quick, we have to I cannot stand sorry, Bobby, this attention whore, Matt Hardy. He's just reposting a bunch of Bray Wyatt stuff, teasing, I could be part of the new Wyatt thing. Go away.
Have you listened to his podcast ever?
I've never listened to his podcast.
You should.
Okay.
I'll say that. You should. He's really good. Explaining how wrestling works and his relationships. I've been listening to his podcast for over 2 years now. And even in AEW, they would do WWE reviews. They would talk about how awesome they are. And even in the Vince era, talk about the guys he loved to work with. And he's always been, since the 2 years I've listened, praised Bray Wyatt since day one, ever since I listened. He's a big Bray guy. They're real life friends. He was really, really torn up when he passed. So I can see why Matt Hardy's doing all this stuff. He's not signed with AEW. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
There's a possibility he gets brought in to WWE.
I will say this. I did enjoy the Deleters of Worlds. I think
Matt Hardy hated it because he hated the way that Vince treated it.
No.
And Bray, and he's on the podcast talking about how much he hated it because Vince controlled it, overdid the laughs. He just wanted it to be a lot better, and it could have been a lot better. And maybe they're going to make it a lot better if he does return. I don't think he will. I think he goes back to AEW, but he does not like AEW right now. He's not a fan of Tony Khan right now. And that's coming from his mouth. I watch his stuff a lot. And Eric Bischoff, by the way. I'm just calling myself out, everyone watching. I watch a lot of Eric Bischoff, and I watch a lot of Matt Hardy, and I do enjoy their content, especially Bischoff. He's fucking awesome. He's a savage, Tony Khan. He is a savage if you ever watch him.
I could just tell that just from their tweets back and forth.
Oh, he's great. He even made a new show. He made a new show aimed at Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Called Business Decisions. Or something like that. I don't know, dude. You gotta watch it. All right, we gotta get out of here before I fall asleep on the air. Sorry, guys. I'm working off of 2 hours of sleep, so if I did say some names wrong or rumble off or mumble, I'm dead. We can catch us next week. We will be doing an AEW Dynasty review show, result show. I might get the show, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, I like to play Russian roulette. Clutch. For the longest time, I didn't get charged for pay-per-views. I would order them on my cable provider, and I wouldn't get charged. I didn't start getting charged until about 6 months ago, or maybe a little bit late. And ever since then, I stopped doing it. But I might roll the dice and get this one because I will pay to see Swerve win the title.
Yeah,
I will pay
that'll
for
be
that.
really good.
So I might get it. And then we'll talk about the show. And of course, we'll have WWE news as well. Clutch, you're welcome anytime. Just hit me up, man. I know today I called you out on Twitter, just joking because I know you didn't know anything about Dynasty. But just if you want to come on weekly, I don't care. Dude. If you want to come on whenever, just message me because I don't want to intrude. I know it's late over where you are, but you're fun to have on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, yeah, whenever I can, whenever I see the opportunity. Today, you kind of like put me on the spot. I was like, you know what? I really thought of. I at first I was like, why would I be on an AEW show?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? I could do some funny things here. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yep, Paul Levesque guy all the way through and through. Guys, follow at Fins Talk Sports Network, at RTW Chris, at Miami Clutch PE. I think the Miami Heat are still in the playoffs.
Do not talk to me about the Heat, please.
I don't watch basketball. I just learned that the play-in games were yesterday or something. I have no idea. We have NHL playoffs. I put all my money on the Bolts to win the Stanley Cup. Let's go. Let's fucking go. We got the Panthers coming up round 1. Fuck Florida. Fuck
Starting
Miami.
on Sunday.
Fuck Fins Talk Sports Network and your Florida Panthers.
Crazy.
Sorry, Bobby, but go Bolts.
Right here, right?
Yep.
There we go.
Go Bolts, baby. Champions. The Florida Panthers aren't champions. Guess what? We are. Anyway, this is the wrestling show, guys. I'm out of here. I'm rambling.
Let's go Panthers.
Peace out.